Hey guys, Paul here, back again. Looking at some potential opportunities that I'll be looking for next week. I just need to say again, this is not trade advice. Don't copy these trades. This is purely for educational purposes. Um, for me to test this strategy on my demo account. So don't copy these trades on your own live accounts, or if you do them at your own risk. I'm not a registered financial advisor, so I'm not giving financial advice. These are the patterns that I've looked at. I've noticed setting up here on the US yen, we've got a jump over here, what I would call, I think it's kind of an ascending triangle. Come up, bit of a poke here, could be a bit of a head and shoulders, but these, I don't like how I prefer it. If it was going to be a head and shoulders, I prefer a stronger head, a higher run up. For a higher run up here and probably a deeper sort of drop on this side. This is very much a higher low. So there's potential to break out to the upside and continue on this uptrend. But it is also looking like a potential ascending triangle. So this could be a rising, more of an ascending triangle than a rising wedge. It could be a bit of a rising wedge. If we make a higher high here and it keeps sort of wedging up, following this type of arrangement, could be a rising wedge, which would mean something like this, which would mean we'd be looking for shorts on a break of this trend line, a breakdown here, maybe this break of this low. So we'll see how it opens, we'll see how it looks, but that's the type of thing I'm looking at here, is this up move on the US yen to run out of steam and a pullback. On that, on cable pound USD, I'd be looking for this up move to continue. So any sort of bullish continuation move, whether we get a bull flag here, whether we sort of consolidate and go sideways a little like we did here with the bull flag. If we form a triangle, a little bit of pennant. If it pulls back under this level of resistance in here and forms a double bottom or a reverse head and shoulders, I'll look for longs off a sort of similar setup like so. Nothing clear on it at the moment. We've just had a strong finish to the week. Nothing other than there. Same thing with Euro Pound, is just in a downtrend and there's no real setup there at the moment. Euro USD, there's a potential double bottom here. We drop, we came back up. It's a bit wide up here, but it's come back down again, retested the same level, bounced, and potentially a bull flag type of thing, arrangement setting up in here. So we'll see how it goes Monday Asia, and I'll be looking for longs. We've definitely bounced off this 1.09 sort of 20-30 level and broken structure to the upside. So from the terms of support and resistance, we've come down. There's a support and resistance level in here, which is pretty clear to see. Bounce, bounce, break through it, break down, retest, retest, break down, break through it. Might break down and then break back up to the upside. So if we break down and form a wedge or a flag or something, then I'll look for continuation of the upside on Euro USD. New Zealand USD, we're in a big long downtrend. We've rallied back up. We've formed this bit of a pennant, a bit of a rectangle in here of consolidation. We've broken out of it. May look for some sort of bear flag or something on this. If we get some sort of move in here to give us a bear flag or something for short, to continue down lower, maybe down into this area somewhere. I'll look for that. If it reverses reverses and heads back up, or just wait and see. I'm not going to make too many judgments out of that. US CAD, I think we'll keep going higher. There's a support resistance level right in here. We've hit. We sort of bounced on top of it, broke through it. Might come back to that area, and then we may see a continued consolidation. Could break through it, or it could break back down to the downside. We'll wait and see. No big preferences on nothing clear that I see. Certainly no patterns. I mean, I took this double bottom here for the break to the upside on Friday. So sit back and wait. Watch that one. Aussie USD is setting up what I would call a rising wedge. So we've got, and it's a wedge because it's open-ended. It hasn't triangled as yet. It's still open at the ends here. So I think we're running out of steam. If you look at the parabola on this uptrend, we've pressed up, and then it's really running out of steam here. We've got a high here, potential head and shoulders arrangement here with a, again, this head's not very strong though, so it's not a strong sort of head and shoulders for me. I'm still looking for shorts on a break below this area here. Stops above the high and targets 2 times the stop to back down to the downside. So depending on how we open, if we gap right through or gap up high, if we don't gap very much and we continue within this range on Monday, I'll be putting a pending short below these lows. Euro Yen, very similar to Euro USD, it's still bullish. Potential bear, bullish flag pattern setting up here. Not a flag, sorry, it's a pennant. It's more of a triangle pattern than an open flag. So I'm looking for a break and continuation to the upside. To go with the continuation to the upside on the Euro USD. Pound Aussie sort of has been in a range. We formed this triangle pattern in here, broke out of it. So I'm looking for a continuation to the upside on Pound Aussie. Especially if Aussie is going to break to the downside against the US and pound is going to continue higher, then that will really surge this higher. So look for some sort of continuation to the upside, some sort of bullish pattern, triangle, pennant, something like that. Same thing on pound yen, still looking for this to continue the uptrend. May get a pullback of some kind in here, but overall I'm still bullish. Still looking for this trend to continue, whatever it is, however you want to look at it. But you could probably put a moving average or something in there and look for it to move back to the moving average. But I'm just going to use patterns, so I'm just going to wait for a pullback and again a bull flag or something, or a double bottom, or wait for something to set up there. Same thing on pound New Zealand. Very strong, very bullish. We broke out of this range, so looking for a continuation to the upside. I think I've already talked about how I've missed a trick on that one with this sort of bullish triangle. Euro Aussie, I think we have a inverse head and shoulders setting up. Broke down, pull back, head, right shoulder, left shoulder, neckline. Again, wait and see how this opens on the gap, but I'll pretty much be putting a pending order. We broke structure to the upside here. There's previous structure support resistance in here. We've hit it, broke through it, retest, break through it, come back down, test. Same thing as on pound USD, similar, very similar. Looking for a break of this 6160 sort of level, and a move up. There's potentially a good couple of hundred pips on this if we get a break of this. Stops could be down around, probably around 100 pips, 150 pips, possibly even below this shoulder, 100 pips. So you look for a couple of hundred pips. I think 200 pips is easy gettable, looking at this sort of price action and range, possibly even sort of 400 or 500 pips could get a really strong move, especially again if Euro continues moving higher on against the US. And if the Aussie runs out of steam on this uptrend and breaks down, then we could see an extrapolated move to the upside on the Euro Aussie, so I'll keep my eye on that. Aussie Yen, you can look at the arc of this uptrend here is slowing down. It could regain, go higher, it might just go sideways, it might get a big strong pullback, but there's no clear setups on that for me at the moment. And the pound Swiss, the CAD Swiss, I can see this continuing to the downside. I know I took my profits off here. Potentially could have held them over the weekend, but if we get another bearish setup, get a flag pattern or something like that, or a pennant or something sets up, I'll probably continue to look for shorts on the CAD Swiss. And that is pretty much brings us to a close. Running through those pairs, I guess you can see from that run through of what we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14 pairs we've run through fairly quickly. It didn't take me much longer than that to have a quick look through and draw a few lines on for what I could see. This might break out to the upside and continue going higher. If it does, run good. I'd be more interested in catching the Euro again to the upside. But you can sort of see it doesn't take long just to run through on the one time frame what's clear, what's not. And I'll have a quick look on Monday. I'll have the basic outline for the setups I'm looking for already there. A lot of longs on Euro seem to be setting up. All the Euro pairs seem to be setting up potential longs, except Euro Pound. Pound is still quite strong, but there's no setups there yet. So that's about where that's at. I had a quick look at this from the point of view of what would have happened if we'd taken half the trade off at a break even and held the remaining trade on for the remainder on for 2-to-1 risk reward. So that would mean if you're risking 2%, that would mean that if a trade went to full profit, you would make 3% on it. And if it went halfway to so you've got 1-to-1, and you take 1% on that, and then you'd lose that 1% if it reversed and stopped you out. And then these last two, because I only took them off at pretty much 1-to-1. Well, this one was almost to its take profit. But I would just for the purposes of this, I'd say let's say we took 2% profit on those two trades and a full 3% on these 5. So those 5 you take 3% each or 15%. These two, let's just say we take them off, the whole trade off at 1-to-1 risk reward, so we take 2% profit. So it's 15% plus another 4%, which would be 19% profit overall. Now 3 of these trades went halfway, got to the break-even level before reversing. So 3 of those losses would have been closed at break-even, and 2 of them would have been stopped out at full 2%, so we would have taken 4% loss. 3 break-evens, and overall, with 19% profit, 4% loss, would be up by 15% if you traded that way. The other way to trade it would be to take your 1% off at 1-to-1 risk reward, and then hold the remaining to the end of the week. That would have allowed the pound yen to take this 350 pips overall, which would have been 5% return on the amount that went to 350 and 1% on the amount that went to 1-to-1. So it would be 6% return overall, and the pound USD would have made 4% on its run. The rest of them, the profits would have been roughly the same. The Euro Yen 90 pips could have got 100 out of it. The US Yen 70 could have got 115. Euro Pound 90 pips would have been up by 110. And Pound USD is the one that really ripped. So the rest of them pretty much would have been the same you would have just picked up an extra significant amount, an extra 3% on the pound yen, and an extra, I think I said 4% on that. So where you said at the 3, so an extra 1% on pound USD. So overall, you would have been up by an extra 4% if you traded that way. For these examples, I'll continue sort of working with that type of an idea, and we'll see how that plays out over the weeks. But they're the different risk, reward, and money management structures that we could have in place and see to optimize the strategy. I'll leave it there. Keep analysing and studying these trades, keep putting them on, and we'll see how we go next week.